Okay, I thought it was worth trying to sort of articulate a bigger picture because we're talking here about Holochain. There is a funneling process going on, something called Holochain, which is it's a thing built using Holochain. Holochain is part of a project called Scepter, CEPTR. And then all of this comes under the banner of something called metacurrency. And Ray part of the community, so if I say anything that's wrong, shout.
Okay.
Now I didn't know anything about, he can shout, obviously. He would if he wants. About if I say anything that's bullshit, yeah. So basically the metacurrency project has been going on for what, at least 10 years? And the founding guys are Arthur Block and Eric Harris Broad, the two sort of head key two guys, and there's a whole community of people around them. So I want to tell you about why I think the metacurrency level of this thing is significant, because all these other things are unfolding over a long period of time. And that's really about, it's really about the nature of money and the nature of the way that our society is basically, the power structures are kept in place by using money. People get out and go to work, the reason they get out and go to work, and they care about their kids and their wives and what have you, and they go to work because they don't get the money at the end of the month. It sounds better. So really, Arthur and Eric are in that community of people questioning that and saying, hang on, economists never mention any of this stuff. It just doesn't get discussed. So there's something going on here about a quite covert power structure that is reinforcing certain social relations, which is actually draining away politics, because the politics has got built into the system. Is this all fair observation?
Absolutely.
Politics has become built into the system, so you can't see it, therefore you can't make political judgments, because all the politicians just think that all they've got to do as a job is to manage making the GDP go up every year, and then everybody will be happy. So really, metacurrency is part of a big movement of people, and I'll cancel that, questioning this. Now, the questioning they've got into is actually, I think, a lot more profound than most questioning in this space, because what they talk about is that a currency, they say it's currency, is a way of seeing a flow of value. And they say, well, actually, flows of value happen everywhere. They've been happening since the Big Bang and the emergence of the universe. And they've got this grammatics white paper, which most people I don't think have seen. And I think it's really important. It's what attracted me to this thing. The grammatics paper is basically a model of the way that systems emerge and they create carrier channels, such as, for example, there's an atmosphere on this planet. It creates a carrier channel called sound. Sound waves can pass back and forth. And then organisms use that to signal. And you start off with birds tweeting and stuff like that, and eventually you get to the point where human beings emerge and they talk to each other, and they effectively create a protocol that sits on that carrier that enables them to exchange value in ways that didn't exist before. Okay? And once that has emerged, it becomes more and more sophisticated because people find more and more interesting things to talk about. But it all sits as a protocol on top of a carrier, which is the sound waves, and then there's a grammar. Grammatical structures emerge in the English language as opposed to the Russian language. And all of these things are about value exchange. So effectively, if you look at it from you could be looking at a cell in your body, there's a membrane, and it exchanges the value going across those membranes that are keeping you alive, or keeping the cell alive. So they're thinking about currencies as value exchange visibility mechanisms at any level of recursion, virtually from the beginning of the universe. I think this is a hugely interesting perspective that nobody else seems to be seeing. That's why I joined in getting involved.